Hi, Self-Awareness. I am your host, Rose, and this is a part 2, and I know you couldn't wait to see it. And again, I want to thank everybody for the September 1st event in Mother Nature, my 19th anniversary of marrying myself. And I just want to remind you, because I've been getting emails, when is the book going to be finished? When is the book? The book, part 2, Why, is complete. So you can call me or you can email me, but it's ready. And we want to continue with our guest, and he's going to introduce himself again.
Yes. Nice to meet you once again. I'm Abba Banks. I am a chakra leader from New York City, and I am the creator of the Chakra World Tour Millennial Travel Guide and television show Dear Chakras, Love Abba, which airs in Manhattan, started 2020.
Okay. And do you mind telling them your age?
Sure. That's a good segue, actually. I am in my throat chakra years, which is, throat chakra, solar plex year, because you got to have both chakras, but that's 31.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the throat chakra years begin at 29, so it will be like 29 is throat, and 30 is throat. No, throat root is 29, then
Okay.
30 is throat sacral, then now 31 I'm throat solar plex. So that
Okay.
means I am exercising my will more, this is the time to exercise my will more,
Use
using my voice
your throat
and speak
chakra.
your
Yeah.
your reality, which
Yes. This is it.
yeah, this is it. So that's a good assessment. Like when you get to around this age, if you're noticing you're having like problems like speaking what you truly want and you're not seeing it in your life, that's something to really address, because this is the
Yes.
time for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, will you mind telling the audience, how did you get started on this journey, this path,
Sure.
at such a young age?
Yeah, I would say that I've always been a person that's self-conscious and aware. It's
Okay.
just naturally how I've always been, like since I've been here. Growing up, I would say what got me into the chakras more, or wanting to learn more about self to ultimately affect my reality more positively, is because growing up, always being self-aware, I grew up in like a kind of very toxic environment. Even though like me being the like oblivious spirit that I am, like I didn't perceive that it was toxic until I got older, and then being in relationships when I got in my heart chakra years, and I'm in a relationship with another person who has their own experiences. So
Yes.
when our experiences come together and we're trading stories and experiences, it's like, oh, no, that's weird. That's off. Maybe that shouldn't have happened. Then things start coming out of you subconsciously. It's like, wait, I don't think I like that. I don't think I like that happened.
Yes.
I don't think that how, so it's like, oh, now I got to deal with all these different things while I'm with a person. So it's embarrassing, because it's like, I'm thinking I was cool, I was good. I promise you I'm not crazy or bug out, but it's like, those things that come out of you when you're really open, and
Yes.
that's just a process. You have to go through it.
Thank you.
Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be myself
Thank
right
you.
now. Because I would probably be too afraid to even speak right now.
But I think that's the problem with most people. They are afraid to come into self because they've been so programmed, conditioned to fit into someone's box. You gotta be like this, you gotta look like this, you gotta talk like this. I go back to the old saying, monkey see, monkey do. And I mean, people do some crazy things because they see other people doing it and they think it's normal.
I would say, I guess it's been a blessing and a curse for me that no matter what I try, I'm never the person to fit in the box. Just no matter what, you put that box there, I'm not the guy. So it's like, it will be too much for me to put a lot of energy into trying to be
Fit
like the
in.
rest of y'all, when I could just take all the energy, be myself, and attract people who's gonna love me or like me for me. And if not, my
But-
journey is to learn to love, to like me. That's what I think
And to
people
love
need to learn
self.
to,
But that's the problem. People don't know self. So how they gonna love self?
Right.
And I spoke about this on quite a few of my shows, and I talked about it in the book because I had to go through the fire to get to this level. And
Right.
it was not an easy process. It was very painful, very scary, but I was able to go within, and you know that you talk about that Christ consciousness to help me through the process and learn and enter and overstand the lessons that was in it. That's what got me to the level that I am now.
Right.
And I'm counseling, teaching people all over the world that I never saw in
Right.
person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I never, like, how did this happen?
Right.
But it was already probably in the Akashic records for me to go through what I had to go through to get to this level in order to deal with humanity that's going. Why was somebody going to listen to me who's going through so much trauma and I haven't been through none?
Right. Right.
Why would they want to? The first thing they say, you don't know how it feels
Right.
because you ain't been there.
Yeah.
That's why I keep telling people, you don't know people's story, you know, because people look at me now and think I had this perfect childhood. And when people read my book, they was like,
That's because they're reading your beauty. People
Well,
tend to read the beauty and then
yes,
just take
but-
it for face value.
and
it's
they
like,
see me at the level that I am now,
Right.
but not 40 years ago.
right.
And that's why I keep telling people, I am you.
Right.
I've been there.
Right.
And, you know, when people read in the book, she tried to attempt suicide over 5 times. That's how much pain I was in. I didn't want to die. I just want the pain to stop.
Right.
I could have turned to drugs,
Right.
alcohol. I was a shopaholic.
Right.
that
I would say
that
if-
was one of my addiction. And I eat a lot of sweets.
Right.
I was addicted to sugar,
Right.
you know, but I never got into drugs. I never got into, you know, where I wanted to be in a gang to hurt people,
Right.
you know, because a lot of people who's doing that,
They
they're
take those
in
routes.
pain.
Yeah.
And
those
I
are all
got a book
chakra
that hurt people,
correlated.
hurt people.
Right. They're very chakra related. Even those things, I noticed everything is chakra related. Like when you said the gangs, the Bloods, think about it, their color is red.
Thank you.
And they deal with fear. And one of their signs is like that. This is a chakra muladra that strengthens the root
Yes.
chakra. This is one of their signs. I don't
Yeah.
think any of them know that this is something that when you feel a certain way, you feeling not yourself and not okay and like not safe, you do this. This helps you build up that energy, like that the meridian channel.
Yes.
It activates that feeling of bravery and like self-confidence. They don't know these things, but they're just doing things that's been here before us. That's why. 'Cause
Yes. Yes.
Everything is from the past. It's like nothing else is really new here.
And this is
honestly.
what I explain to people, nothing new under the sun.
Right.
And I just want to make reference to, it's a Bible scripture that the Creator say, open up your third eye. But I don't think a lot of religious people,
They don't relate to that.
they don't know what that means.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, no, what it say, if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. Light represent true knowledge.
Right.
So what it's saying,
Do that,
close this 2 eyes and open up this.
Right.
And it's in the Bible.
That's awesome that you, good segue. That's how I learned about meditation. Because it was in the Bible.
Thank you.
It was in the Bible and it was in the Quran. And like I was
Yes.
expressing to you earlier, I learned Islam through a friend of mine from Sierra Leone. And so I was learning them kind of like simultaneously, but Islam, I was actually doing more of the practices of the actual praying style. I liked it because it was more physical.
Yes.
It's kind of like working out at the same time. I'm just dynamic like that, you know? I've never been a person just get on my knees, do that. It's always
Okay.
been weird to me. So I like that part. I just couldn't understand Islam, even though it sounds beautiful like one song. But the one thing I seen that was common in those 2 books, I also seen it in the Torah. I seen it in like Buddhist texts I read, meditation. All the prophets, all the people who so-called spoke to God, They
Yes.
spoke to God through meditation.
Meditation.
That was the only way.
But even in the Bible, it say meditate day and night.
Right.
It's in the songs.
Right.
And even fasting.
Right.
In
Those
the
things. That's
Bible,
what I'm.
they talk about fasting 70 times in the Bible. And nobody I knew grew up in religion fast.
Right. It's not common
And
to
they
them.
go to church every Sunday
Right.
and say they believe every word in the Bible.
Right.
And to not fast for one day, they think you're crazy.
Yeah, they think you'll die or something.
You're going to die.
Wow.
Oh, how can you do that? Because my friend, I'm going to be interviewing him. He just fasted, I think 2 months ago,
Right.
for 30 days.
Right.
And he feels great.
Right.
And he looks great. And he said it just took him to another level. So he's planning to go through it again for 30 days.
Right.
And you know, it has to be very challenging because in this dimension, there's food all around us. Everywhere you go, there's
Right.
food, food, food.
And I think the thing is when you consume things, since we're beings that we have trillions of living cells within us,
Thank you.
on us, that's what we're made out of.
Thank
So
you.
anything you consume has trillions of cells and different bacteria, living
Yes.
things. So when you eat those things, you're putting it in you, in your
Yes.
in your motherboard, in your computer system. So it's
Yes.
like giving yourself parasites.
Yes.
So a lot of times, even now, that's how I perceive it with my friends. When I say certain things, and it's like, "Oh, you can't do that. How am I supposed to survive?" And it's like, "Oh, that's your parasite talking. That's not you. I'm not talking to you. Like I don't talk to parasites. When you ready to talk to me, then let's have that conversation." But I'm not checking them. Even myself, I check myself. Like when I want certain things, and it's like, "Wait, what? Oh no, the parasite. You gotta be quiet. I'm driving the wheel here. You not. You're a backseat driver."
So it's like self-mastery,
Right.
being in control of self. That's what the whole journey is about.
Yeah, it's practice. It's just I think we all just here for the experience. Because honestly, I see
Thank
how
you.
amazing we are. When I
Yes.
hear of all the different plights and the stripes against us, it make me see how amazing we are. That I guess I'm kind of extremist that way. Like I've actually dealt with drugs and stuff like that because
Okay.
in my journey, like I'm into music, and that's also a part of how I got into this chakra journey because I wanted to be more dynamic and effective with my song creation, like because I feel responsible that I want to create music that benefits the world and the universe
Thank
as
you.
a whole, not
Thank you.
just be sending words out there just saying reckless things and
Negative energy. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what it is.
or not even necessarily negative. Like I want to actually create the
No, I'm
reality I
talking
want.
about other music people got out.
Yeah, but for
as-
them it may not be negative because for them
Yeah,
that's the
but-
reality they want.
Yeah,
so for
but
them it's positive.
affecting the young people.
Right.
That's why a lot of them are so violent,
Yeah.
and so disrespectful. I mean, the music I hear in the street, F this, suck this, and these children are like 10, 12 years old listening to that. Kill your mama, kill your daddy.
Yeah.
And,
It's
and
sad.
and my thing is, what kind of system that we live in that would allow this?
That's wow. Chakra exploration is very important because
you.
then when you get to the roots of our country and
Thank you.
The state of the world we're in now is like you gotta look at who formed this country, what kind of souls, what kind of spirits, what kind of people formed this country, what kind of things did they do?
Thank
That's
you.
why the place is violent now.
Yes.
Because it was violent people that came over here and scammed their way into a living. Not
Yes.
even take anything, because nothing was taken. We're still here. Nothing was taken from us. But they scammed their way into our existence, and it's like now we're dealing with the same energy they brought here.
Yes.
I feel like now we're reaching the time where it's like, you know what? Because clearly somebody wasn't dealing with themselves back then, that you allowed this foreign entity to just do what it wants.
Thank you.
So now we see what it is. So it's like now we need to be responsible for our own energy and really move forward accordingly.
Yeah, but
At least that's how I see it.
No, I see it that way too, but most people feel powerless. So they don't feel they can take control of their life, of their situation. That's why they waiting on the politician.
Right.
They waiting on somebody named Jesus to come.
Right.
When they books say the Creator gave you the power.
Right. And all his prophets told you the same answer.
Thank you. Within you, you have the power. That's why it's a verse say, your thoughts create your reality.
Absolutely.
That's in their Bible. What are you thinking?
Right.
I hate myself. I'm ugly. I'm not good enough. Oh, I got to be like this. I got to be like them.
I always wonder, like, where did those people like to say that those type of ideas are imposed on us, but that has to be something you just accept for yourself. That's not something that could be that imposed on you to where it's like, you get what I'm saying? Like, to where it's like, I feel like you have to have heard that in your own voice for you to accept that as your own truth. Because, like, even if I heard all my life from a stranger that's telling me I'm not beautiful, it means nothing to me. You're a stranger. But versus you hear that from your mother.
Oh, yeah,
that's you.
That's deep.
Then that's I believe that's where the traumas come from. But when it comes from people that you expect love from, but instead you get trauma. At least that's been my journey. And in that's why I do the chakra work, because it's certain things that as an adult, I just think it's not cool as an adult when you bring in all your problems from childhood into your adulthood and where everybody can see, or even if you're trying to hide it, maybe nobody can see for face value, but you pushing that on your kids. So now your children is going to go to school with your energy, and now they're going to affect my children, and nobody thinks of that stuff.
Well, because of the society that we live in, and to one point, yes, it is imposed more when a parent do it. But the system that we live in, because I grew up in the South with the signs, white only, couldn't go into a bathroom. We had to go in the field, restaurants we couldn't go in.
Right. How did you really feel about that?
I felt I wasn't good enough. I felt something was wrong with me.
Did you really feel like they had the better life?
Yes.
With that stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the power of media, though.
But this is what I'm saying. It do affect you, even though it's not your family that's doing it. But when your family do it, it's more devastating.
Yeah.
Because in my family...
Because it's hard to understand it. It's like we come from each other.
I understand it because of the programming, because my sister was lighter than me and she had what they call good hair, because my father, grandparents, they Cherokee Indian. And I didn't get no attention because I was the dark one compared to her. And I had what they call kinky hair. She had good hair.
Right.
So that was devastating. And on top of that, the environment, the signs. You can't go here, you can't go that. And, in the park.
Right.
They had signs. We couldn't even go to certain part of the park. So it is imposed on both levels. Parents, it's worse when the parents or the family do it. But they been programmed for generation. Like, it's ugly. Light skin. I wrote in my book when I opened up my first boutique in the late 70s, this African young lady that I hired to work with me, she told me this, and this was in the late 70s. Before she came to America, her family told her, don't marry a black man. If you do, make sure he's light-skinned or marry a white man.
I'm going to speak on it.
They're teaching them this at a young age when they
that's
come
coming from
here.
fear, though.
But
and that makes sense.
But you telling, and she was almost dark as your shirt.
Right.
So how she must have felt about herself.
Right.
They telling me to marry a white man or a light-skinned black man so I don't have a black baby?
Right.
And she was as dark as your and I thought she was beautiful.
Yeah, and I know that's just ignorance in itself. Because it's like
Yes.
In no time period can anyone say to me the sentence, black looks better or white looks better, because at the end of the day, beauty is beauty. I don't
Thank
care if
you.
you're black, white, or whatever. Either you're
Yes.
beautiful or you ain't.
Yes.
That's the real truth people need to deal with.
But they have to learn that.
Besides the colors, forget the color.
Yeah.
Because I'm an artist.
Yeah.
That was my first ever talent here. I draw, so I see things for what it is.
Yes.
So it's like, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. If you're not so like aesthetically pleasing, you're not so aesthetically pleasing. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
There's no, oh, because you're this color,
Yes.
or you're that color, or you're this, you have this color. Like, all here's how it just looks all together, because it's
Thank you.
art. It's the complete package. You can't just look at one thing and zero in on that, because the same way you could zero on this one thing and say it's beautiful, you could zero on it and point out the flaws. That's why you sit back and observe the whole bigger picture.
Yeah. Well, we have about 5 more minutes, so whatever you want to be
Okay.
to the audience,
Got it.
5 minutes.
Okay. I guess I would say I'd like for you guys to follow me on YouTube and Instagram. And interact with me if you got any questions about the chakras or anything related. That's Dear Chakras Love Abba on Instagram and on YouTube at Abba Banks. Go to visit chakraworldtour.com. It's also a website where people can book their travels. I just thought it would make sense to make the website that to also feature
Okay.
you can also buy the copy of the Chakra World Tour book. Scroll to the bottom of that page. But I just thought it would make sense to make it dynamic.
And show that is so cute.
Yeah, and for the Dear Chakras Love Abba merchandise, which is under my clothing brand called,
Can't tell them to buy.
it's called Tigami. This stuff is on, like, you can find it like on my Instagram. You see like different pages and links if you wanna see more of that stuff.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, that's about it. I would like a lot more interaction though on the social media. I admit I have been like kind of discouraged from it because it gets boring for me. I live real life. Like, I really live. I be outside just doing real things, and after a while, I notice like people if they're not really interacting with it, I'm off that. But I would say my goal is for now in 2020, going forward, I'm going to be more engaging with that stuff. I'm just setting out my root chakra stuff, making sure my foundation is strong enough to move forward into that, because that's like Instagram and social media, that's sacral chakra stuff.
Yes.
So before I get to the sacral chakra, I need my root chakra and all that. So support the real, and I'll really be here to support you.
And when you was talking about being grounded in Mother Earth, that is so important, because I go to the park every morning, sometime at night, sometime during the day.
Oh, yeah. You're better
Sometimes
than
I
me.
can hear her calling me like, come,
Right.
come. I said,
Yeah.
okay, I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm the hard-headed
And it
child.
keeps
She
me
always tells
grounded.
me,
What sign are you?
I'm an Aquarius.
Oh,
That's what I say.
Wow.
I'm in my root chakra. I'm always thinking root chakra. Well, my sun sign is Aquarius. My moon is a Virgo, and my ascendant is a Leo.
wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of all over the place.
So what day is your birthday?
February 5th.
Oh, so you're 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, my number is I'm a 6.
Oh, you're 6?
Yeah, like when you add up the whole birthday and it makes up the number. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're the 16? I mean the 14? How did you get the number 5?
So it will be like 2 + 5 is 7. Then
No. Because they say if you born September the 10th, that's a 1. If you born September the 12th, it adds up to a 3. Because they say it has to be a single number.
Right.
But the highest number is 9.
Right. But
I'm a 9.
Right, but to get your overall like numerology number, you add up the birth month, date, and a year.
Okay.
So the 1 + 9, that makes it 10. That's
Okay.
1. 8 +
Okay.
8 is 16. 17. That's 8. 8 that's 9. 9 + 5 that's 14. That 1 + the 4 makes it 5. 5 + the 2. I did that wrong. It's supposed to come out as a 6 though. Either 6 or 7 is one
Okay.
of them. Yeah, but I believe it's 6. My number's usually 6.
It's
I looked it
6,
up before.
okay.
Yeah.
Because, I did interview numerologists, astrology on the show. Some good information.
All that stuff is correlated.
Well, 40 years ago, I didn't believe this stuff.
Yeah, I know, and I would say 20 years ago when I was reading this stuff on my own as a child, this was the stuff that resonated with me to seem real. But I noticed more adults that look like me, they always made it taboo. Like, nah,
Thank you. Thank
that
you.
science stuff. They always made it feel like if you're into science, you're weird. If you're into these things, you're weird. So I kind of never spoke about it. But I
Yes.
just kept it to myself to see, know it's real. I always read like horoscopes and stuff. And when I spoke to
Wow.
girls, I always asked them their sign and stuff on my own time to
As a
see how they
young
act.
boy?
Yeah.
Wow.
I wanted to know people and know myself, interact. Like I'm here to have the full experience. I'm not afraid at all.
Yeah, because the chart that I had two different people to do a chart, and this was like maybe over 20 years ago, and I still didn't believe, and everything was in the chart. It's what I'm doing now.
Now, yeah. Right.
I said, how can this be
Right.
with numbers?
Right.
Yeah, but we're going to end this now, but at some point, we're going to have to interview you again and take it to another level.
Yes.
So I want to thank you, and I want to thank the audience, and the creator in me greets the creator in you. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. That was awesome.
You great. They're going to love you.
This is wonderful.
So when you